What's up guys, today's video is on the top 3 best Nikon cameras in 2025. Through extensive research and testing I've put together a list of options that'll meet the needs of different types of buyers, so whether it's price, performance or its particular use, we've got you covered. For more information on the products, I've included links in the description box down below which are updated for the best prices. Now let's get started. Number 3. Nikon Z30. The Nikon Z30 is a simple, user-friendly mirrorless camera for vloggers. The similar Nikon Z50 and ZFC are more suitable for photographers due to their built-in viewfinders. But if you mainly want to shoot video, the Z30 has a lot going for it, including a compact body, vari-angle touchscreen and a tally lamp, too. Armed with the impressive 16 to 50mm kit lens, the Z30 is a highly competent shooter. Nikon's full-frame mirrorless cameras may grab all the headlines, but its APS-C system has now been neatly rounded off by the arrival of the Nikon Z30. That's now 3 cameras and 3 lenses in total. Consider the design of the Z30 as video-centric, the Z50 photo-centric, and the ZFC as, well, nostalgia-centric. In the Z30 we have a camera with a striking resemblance to the Sony ZV-E10. Of the two it's bigger and has a more defined hand grip, yet it still measures up as Nikon's smallest APS-C or full-frame mirrorless camera yet. More grip should be like this. It gives an excellent hold for shooting stills, but also for turning the camera onto yourself, with easy access to that shiny big red button. Virtually all modern cameras offer 4K video, but the quality of 4K does vary. For instance, 4K in the Z30, and indeed its HD 120p slow motion setting, is taken from the full width of the sensor, meaning there is no crop. This is a godsend for vlogging. In the context of the lack of wide-angle APS-C mirrorless lenses, you can maintain the full field of view of the 16 to 50mm lens. There are also unlimited video record times in the Z30, unlike the Z50, ZFC, and many others that are limited to 30 minutes. We say unlimited, ultimately it's down to card capacity, and Nikon quotes in the region of 120 minutes. All of Nikon's APS-C mirrorless cameras use the same 20.9MP CMOS sensor. And as Z50 and ZFC, the Z30 will give you clean and vibrant pictures up to ISO 6400 in a range of shooting scenarios. If possible, it's best to avoid using ISO 12800 and 25600 if you want to avoid the adverse impact of noise. With Nikon's proven 20.9MP APS-C sensor and 4K video with no crop, sharp 16 to 50mm kit lens, and the easily graded flat color profile, the Z30 brings excellent images in all kinds of conditions to camera newbies. Number 2. Nikon Z9. The Nikon Z9 sees Nikon's mirrorless cameras take an impressive jump forward to match flagship rivals from Canon and Sony. The Z9 feels like an indestructible DSLR, but inside are innovative features like advanced AF tracking, 20 frames per second raw burst shooting, 8K video, and an electronic-only shutter. We also like its new two-way tilting screen. The Z9's video prowess impresses already, and we're looking at a modern-day Nikon classic. The Nikon Z9 is the landmark mirrorless Nikon camera that professional wildlife and sports photographers have been waiting for. A full-frame flagship that takes the baton from the Nikon D6 and marks the end of pro Nikon DSLRs, the Z9 sees Nikon's mirrorless tech take a big leap forward and match the advances made by Canon and Sony. This means the Z9 relies completely on its electronic shutter, a bold statement of intent that shows Nikon's confidence in its new stacked 45.7MP full-frame CMOS sensor and XSpeed 7 processor. Like the Canon EOS R3, the Nikon Z9 is a traditional-looking mirrorless camera that's designed to appeal to those making the switch from a DSLR. To compete with other flagship mirrorless cameras like the Canon EOS R3 and Sony A1, the Nikon Z9 needed to make giant strides in autofocus and burst shooting performance, and it's largely achieved that. The Nikon Z9, meanwhile, can shoot full-resolution RAW at 20 frames per second, and for our tests it was able to do this for about 90 frames in compressed RAW when using a top-line Lexar CF Express Type B card. The Nikon Z9 stacked 45.7MP full-frame CMOS sensor effectively makes it a superpowered version of the Nikon Z7 II, which also offers a 45.7MP resolution, but without the stacked chip for speedy readout speeds. This resolution gives you significantly more cropping potential than the 24MP Canon EOS R3. The drawback is slightly slower maximum burst speeds than the EOS R3 or EOS R5, which can hit 30 frames per second when shooting RAW photos. The Z9 does join the select few mirrorless cameras that can shoot 8K video. According to Nikon, it can 8K or 30p video continuously for up to 125 minutes, even without an internal fan, which somewhat puts the smaller Canon EOS R5's overheating limitations to shame. Number 1. Nikon Z6 II. The Nikon Z6 II is a full-frame mirrorless camera from 2021 and succeeds the Nikon Z6. It offers some light upgrades over its predecessor, including the addition of a second memory card slot for SD cards and a second Expeed 6 processor for improved autofocus performance. Otherwise, like its predecessor, it's a versatile full-frame mirrorless camera with excellent ergonomics, in-body image stabilization, and quick burst shooting. Though its video specs aren't quite up to par with some of its peers, it's still a well-rounded option for photographers and hybrid shooters who are interested in Nikon's Z system. The Nikon Z6 II is good for travel photography if you don't mind a bulkier kit. It delivers excellent overall image quality, and it has a good autofocus system that does a great job of keeping moving objects in focus. It feels very well built and comfortable to use, and it's weather sealed to withstand elements like rain. The Nikon Z6 II is excellent for landscape photography. Its image quality is amazing, with plenty of dynamic range to capture a wide array of detail in high-contrast landscape shots. The Nikon Z6 II isn't designed for vlogging, but it works fine for sit-down vlogs. It only has a tilting screen, so you can't use it to monitor yourself while recording. It's also quite heavy, making it harder to carry around for long periods. The Nikon Z6 II is good for studio video. Video quality is very good overall, especially in controlled lighting conditions. It supports 10-bit recording with N-Log with a compatible external recorder via HDMI, but unfortunately, it's limited to 8-bit internal recording, giving you less leeway to edit and color grade your footage. The Nikon Z6 II has excellent RAW photo performance. Its sensor has amazing dynamic range, so it captures a wide range of highlight and shadow detail. It also does a great job handling noise in low light. Finally, images look sharp and detailed thanks to its high-resolution sensor. Thanks for watching. Like the video and don't forget to subscribe.